So I really, you kind of explained it, and I was only half listening. There was people around, and you said, I want to get you on the show and try this. All I know is it deals with vibration. I don't know if there's going to be any supernatural phenomenon I'm supposed to feel attached to it. I'm going to go in as unskeptical as I can, as open-minded as possible. And what do you say? You just, whatever, or do you want to explain it before you do it? I don't want to come in with any expectations, though. So however you want to set it up.
Basically, what I need you to come in, like you were saying, open, but I need you to be open to this. And before I ask you to be open to this, because a lot of the reason that people may close themselves to it, you know, is certain fears.
Fears? No.
And
mine's total skepticism.
Yeah, but I know you're a skeptic, but I need you to be open to what I'm doing.
All right.
And then know that at any time you can reject anything that you want to reject.
All right. So did you...
First thing I want to do, not everything in here is for, because this is a bag that I just like to carry around, you know. See my painting?
Oh, there's no equipment in here. So
there is some equipment in here.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but not everything. And I got my disc in here.
Yes.
He loves this disc.
Yes, I do love it. I don't know if I would actually putt with it, but it is a nice throwing putter. Except I threw in a headwind just now and I went way over a fence.
And then he went over the fence to get it.
Yeah.
And right now I'm kind of like Mary Poppins with the magic bag. Okay, one of the first things I want to pull out is not something I'm going to use, and you're going to be grateful that I'm not going to use it, but it's to dispel a myth.
To dispel what?
A myth? Because you thought I was going to bring,
some sort of vibrating machine. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and that's this. This is an athame, and it needed to be clean, and I asked my son to clean it, but he never got around to it.
What's the name of it?
It's an athame.
Athame?
Athame.
Athame.
Okay, witches.
I knew it was some sort of Wiccan thing.
Circles use anatheme. Anatheme, all it is a knife that's got double edge. Not all athames have this in here, but all it's for, we do not kill with it. I'm not a Wiccan, but I've used anatheme before, but you can see it's been a long time, is to direct energy. That's it. I'm calling it
Skeptic bells and whistles just came off.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it very utilitarian. I would like to practice in a side of beef or something just to see what that split blade does, if it gets in and out of meat easier.
It might.
And you said I'm not a Wiccan, we don't actually kill anything. Do Wiccans kill, do they actually do sacrifices?
No.
Oh, you said I'm not a Wiccan, I don't kill anything with it.
No, I said
you were
Wiccan. I'm not a Wiccan, but Wiccans don't actually kill anything.
Oh, I see.
You know, or maybe I said it wrong, but if I did, I am correcting myself. They don't go around. They are very peaceful people. Wiccans believe in do as you will, but harm none. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to dispel, I've heard people say, oh, you know, there was this Wiccan party going on and they were bringing swords and knives and I'm scared. And it's like, no, it's only used to direct energy. And I just wanted to dispel that myth right away.
Ignorance. Okay. It's just plain ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're given the correct information, they refuse to believe because they're comfortable. They would rather some Christians they need an enemy. Yeah. They need something to fight against. They want them to sacrifice babies.
Well, they actually accuse others of what they do because if you look in the Old Testament, what did they do?
You're dashing little babies against the stones.
Yes, and they made that magic elixir that a woman must drink. You know the abortion potion.
Wow, you know your Bible.
I read through the Old Testament 3 times, New Testament 4 times, back when I was a Christian. And then I started really questioning this and actually literally went into a closet. As a Christian, I literally ran into a closet, confused, crying that I wanted to know what the truth was. Came out of the closet a completely different person. I actually came out of the closet.
In the atheist community, we use that same terminology when someone deconverts, when they become an atheist. So, yeah, I'm familiar with that. Okay.
So, but the tools I'm actually going to use that you are, so we're talking about vibration.
Oh, it's like a tuning fork. Yep, tuning fork.
Different types of tuning forks.
I should have guessed that.
And this. You take this and hit it. I bought this at a place called, I bought this years ago at a place called Silver Pyramid. I don't even know if it's still there. But if you take it and hit it, you can actually feel the vibration in it. And keep yourself open to the vibration.
just kind of open your, oh, there we go. Yeah, I feel vibration. Yeah, the energy, it's true, the energy comes through the leather and into my hand, and it dissipates rather quickly, but...
I could feel it over here. But you feel it more, of course,
well,
when you're...
the only vibrations you're feeling over there, the energy affecting the air, which goes into your ears, and it's registering, you know, your cochlea and everything is registering to your brain as sound.
Okay. There's, yeah, scientific explanations, and science, I can give science a lot of credibility due to their experiments in that. Science doesn't know everything, but they do know, I think, a lot more than religion, because they do experiments and they do research. At the same time, you know, when I'm talking about experiences that I've actually gone through, and may not be able to say, well, science can prove it because science has to be something that's done over and over and stuff like that, but I'm going on with my own life. And this is kind of a study on vibration, and if you can really pay attention and open yourself to this, you can feel it all through your body. Remember I was telling you about the energy centers in your body?
Okay, here's the skeptic in me again. A deaf person can still enjoy music. If it's turned up loud enough, they put on the headphones,
right.
They can get the bass. That's a vibration. So maybe there is something like that going through me.
That's what I'm talking about, that vibration. Allow yourself to feel the vibration.
All right.
It's really about allowing yourself to feel vibration. And when we go through this, then I'm going to tell you a few things that might surprise you. Or maybe not, I don't know, you're a smart guy.
My other question. What are the positive benefits of this, though?
Well,
I could see it maybe helping with focus, like a meditative thing.
What we're going to learn is when you open yourself, because you can close yourself to it, and you know that. When you open yourself to the vibration, you could feel how much better, you know, a good feeling. Just the feeling.
Oh, so it's like euphoria. It makes you feel good?
It makes you feel good.
Is there an end state to this where masters that do this, they like a third eye on their forehead will open up or some weird stuff? Is there anything weird supernatural attached to it?
There can be, yeah. And I just want you to feel the vibration so you understand a little bit more about vibration, okay? And then these, of course, are going to have a different vibration.
You know,
you like these,
I've been driving all morning. I've had a bunch of running around to do. I am feeling a little buzz right now, but it's I think it's just from driving. It's residual from being in the car. Because I'm feeling it still right now.
I need you to be open to what's going on and quit making excuses.
Okay.
You sound like my mother. Anyway. Okay, now on this, you know, of course, go.
I'm seeing what key those are in. That one over here was definitely lower register.
Okay, I need you to turn off the analytical mind.
It's like a B flat, I think. Okay.
Turn off the analytical mind. He's a troublemaker, right? Yeah.
They already know. They already know.
We're doing it opposite ears now.
No, it's the same one over here.
Did I thought I switched.
No, this is the lower one.
Okay.
What am I supposed to be getting out of this?
What you're getting out of this, and these are
relaxation.
Yeah, vibration alone.
So shoot for relaxation. All right.
What I need you to do. Okay. Yeah, take a couple.
Is shut the fuck up. Okay. Yeah. And then what?
Okay. I want you to just totally relax. Okay. You can start from your feet and your ankles. And then just feel the relaxation coming up through your feet. But just start from your feet and your ankles and let the relaxation come from the ground to your ankles, to your knees, you know, up higher and higher up into your head. I think you know what I'm talking about. I need you to just relax. And then after I do these demonstrations, I'm going to tell you a little bit.
Okay.
Or talk to you a little bit about it. Okay. So just relax. No more talking. And then you could do it yourself and feel the vibration in it. Just hit them together.
And put them by my face?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Okay.
That's a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's still going.
Yeah.
You still feel that.
If you want to stop it, just put your hands on it.
It's still going.
Yeah.
See how far up on this I can get. Now, once I get to about right there, it muffles it.
Mm-hmm. The other thing, like, not everybody has these at home, okay? But there are different ways of bringing vibration, okay? One, I always wanted to buy the crystal balls and do that, and they're kind of pricey.
Oh, it's something you go around the rim?
Yeah. Oh, they are. And one will get another one going and stuff like that. And I used to go to a place called Silver Pyramid, and I was going to buy one, but I never did because back then I was living with my stepson, and if he got mad at me, he probably would have broke them.
You ever seen that movie, The Golden Child, with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Give me the knife.
We have come to ask for the sacred cross dagger of Dante.
Let him ask it. I want the knife. Please.
But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a funny story. Since I wouldn't buy those crystal balls because I knew that he would break them the first time he got mad at me. He was a brat, okay? What I did, and it's something that you can do at home, you get those glasses, glass or crystals and that, and you get wet and you go around like that, make it sing. And so I would go around the house trying to vibrate everything and get good vibration in the house, right? And he was sitting at the computer table, and I walked around him doing this, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I says, "I'm trying to get rid of negative vibration," and I'm just going around him.
I have so many questions.
That night, and this is a coincidence, but it is funny, he got arrested that night and went to jail. I said, "I'm getting rid of negative vibrations."
So Penny, all right. Like, is it possible there's negative? This is Jarl's church. I doubt there is. But if we were somewhere, there are negative vibrations that just hang. They linger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, that dissipated. Vibrations dissipate. They need an energy source to keep going.
But they can be absorbed into walls or anything else.
This vibration from these tuning forks, they went through my body. They dissipated. They're still in me right now.
I could still feel them, and
they're done.
Well, because you already chased them out. You talked a lot. You already chased them out. I could still feel them.
I don't know.
No, I know.
Okay.
Because you don't want to know.
Okay, let's say you're right. And
I'm always right.
I've got the tuning fork and the clanging bell vibrations in me now. I admitted to you, I felt a sense of comfort with them.
Right.
And so now I've got positive vibrations in me. How long will it last?
As long as you want them to last. When I was telling you about that, I used to go to a place called Silver Pyramid before that. And I didn't believe in all this stuff. Okay. And I would go in there, and they had the pretty stones, and they had the candles and the aromatherapy and all this stuff. Okay. And every week, I'd walk out of Vicon Village, and I'd come home feeling good, and after a while it would dissipate. Well, one day I had noticed when I was walking out, because it was like way on one side of Icon Village, and I was walking out, walked out, I noticed it started dissipating, this good feeling. And then I went right back in there, and it came back. And that's when I was like, okay, there's more to this than meets the eye, because I'm going accordance to experience, okay? I also like to do a little bit of aromatherapy, and one of my little toys in here is, these are also things that I've made before that help with stress. I'll explain that to you later, and I'll even give you one if you want it.
Well, I can meet you there. This would have positive stress relieving, like meditation. I think that there's a scientific avenue for this, for it to be beneficial. It's definitely stress relieving.
Yeah. The thing about aromatherapy is it's one of the few things that can go,
You made this?
past the filtration system.
Right.
Huh?
You made that?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
It can go past the filtration system in the nose and into the brain, okay? And it lights up, there is scientific, it lights up different areas in the brain. They've done experiments on this, okay? Now, lavender is one of the I think every aromatherapist likes because it's very relaxing, unless you have a bad memory attached to it. If you got stung by a bee while in the lavender field, then the lavender would not.
The olfactory portion of the brain, I think, I'll check it, and you'll see something on your screen right now. The olfactory and the memory center are right next to each other.
Yeah.
So of the five senses, smell can instantly bring back memories a lot quicker.
And
that is true.
But if you
Now
don't smell that,
now I don't know through the sense of smell. I'm sure this would relax me. I bet I could. A scientific case could be made that this would relax me. This would get me in a calm state. There's internal chemicals that are released, serotonin, dopamine, and those definitely can change who you are.
Our body is a pharmacy. We have our own pharmacy in our body, period. But that's, but if you smell that, unless you have a bad memory associated with lavender, that should help relax you. When I first started learning about this, before I became an aromatherapist, my late husband and I went to a Whole Foods store, and they had an area with all this different aromatherapy, and I bought these little kits, the little sample things, one for energy and one for relaxation. So I did something a little mean and probably passive aggressive, but what I did, I wanted to check to see if it really works, because we were talking about the placebo effect earlier, you and I,
And the nocebo effect.
And the nocebo effect. My late husband, he worked nights on a truck, so this is kind of a dumb thing for me to do, but I couldn't help it. I put the stuff for energy on him and said, this will relax you. He got up later. He got up later and he says, well, I don't know what stuff you used, but it didn't work. I couldn't sleep at all. I says, it did work. Honestly, I didn't think it would. But I was doing
what was it? What was the energy?
I don't remember. I think it was lemongrass or something like that.
What was it? Lemongrass?
I think it was lemongrass. I'm not sure. But it wasn't lavender.
It could be anything. It could be dog poop. If like a weirdo would just loved that smell, it doesn't matter the smell. It's how you react to it individually. If it's a smell you love, I think it can relax you. Or a smell that you can equate to something calming. It doesn't matter what the smell is. If you are a professional athlete and you feel most at home in a locker room, some dirty socks might do it for you. Yeah. See?
And because it triggers some memories for you. Okay. Yeah. But there are certain senses, and that unless there's a memory triggered elsewise, that they've done scientific studies on that affect a person in a different way. And yes, you can have this, and I'll tell you how to use it. Oh, shoot. Okay? This is one that you can wear as a necklace if you want. Okay? You can put it on and wear it as a necklace. And basically, you hold one in when you need to relax. Okay? And then you take this, and each time you just tell yourself that with each one of these that I touch, I get more and more relaxed. And as you go down, with each that I touch, I'm more and more relaxed. With each that I touch, and you go down. And if you're not where you want to be, when you get down here, you start over to where you want to be. And the funny story is, one time I was constipated and used this, and it actually helped me.
Psychosomatic. There is something to be said for it.
Everything starts with the mind.
No, you see, you just crossed over into...
I know.
Because mind...
Psychosomatics.
Mind and brain are the same thing to me.
I know, but everything starts with the mind.
So yes, if you
and
mean brain...
This church could not have been...
Not everything
starts... If it didn't start first in somebody's mind.
Not everything starts with the mind. We could feel intense pain right now because this building's on fire. That didn't start with the mind. There's extra... If you're feeling something, the chances of it being external is probably more than you inducing it. So, you know what I'm saying?
The brain does tell you that there is pain.
Right, okay.
The brain.
This is just like meditation. This is the same as meditation right here.
But you can have that if you want it.
All right, let me try to get relaxed now. There's another one. I was feeling, it's the meditation. A hypnotist will, and you're going to go another level deeper now. And then when I get to here,
it's a form of self-hypnosis.
Okay.
It's the meditation, self-hypnosis, almost the same thing.
Let's say I'm a master at this, and I'm down to this last one, and I'm in this deep. What is this state? I'm still fully aware of my surroundings, right? I would be.
You're going into, see if I can remember, the theta state.
Okay, different brain waves are being emitted.
Right.
I think there might be some scientific to that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm emitting some thetas, let's say, or instead of, what are we doing, alphas all day? Or is it normal? Our normal brain is alpha waves? I don't know. No.
You know, I always had a hard time with this, but I think it's you'd have to. I'll tell you what. Look it up and put it online.
Sure.
Put it up there.
All right.
I've been told 1,000 times, and I really need to just invade. You know, but I'm pretty sure you're talking theta when you're getting into that almost.
Translate.
Yeah. Translate state.
So I'm here. I'm in this ultimate meditative state. How is that helping me? Can it physically, like, could it cure my asthma? Is there long-term benefits to it?
If you, there's
or something out besides just relaxation or focus?
Okay. You probably already know that stress, in and of itself, a body under constant stress, if you're going into the sympathetic and parasympathetic stuff, all that stuff, continuous stress does a lot of damage to your body. It does damage to your heart, it does damage to, the majority of the disorders and diseases start with that continuous stress.
Right.
Okay, and a lot of times you will have something that's like hidden way back into your subconscious mind, or some people might say unconscious mind, that you're unaware of, that keeps reacting, to whatever. You don't know why. Maybe there's something that happened in your past and you don't remember it, but it's way back in there, and you react to certain things. Or, you were in the military, and there's probably certain things that trigger those emotions that you went through.
Porta-johns. Every time I walk into a porta-john now, hairs stand up on my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. There was a lot of porta-johns over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we used. But for some reason, when I see someone coming out of a porta-john and I hear that door slam, that plastic door.
Yeah.
Whew, I don't know what that does to me. I'm feeling like, ooh, gosh. Okay, now I gotta, is there gonna be incoming mortar rounds?
Right. And your whole body tenses up.
Yeah. So.
But you're not in danger. But for that moment,
yeah,
your mind says you're in danger, and that can do a lot of damage to your health. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay. I'm right there with you, because that is a scientifically, verifiable thing.
Right.
That stress can cause long-term physical problems.
So having different modes of de-stressing.
Oh, so this is just stress relievers. That's all this is?
Yeah. A lot of.
I don't agree with the whole energy still in you.
Yeah,
But
I still have a lot to teach,
Penny, I will give you this.
Huh?
Even though I don't think there's positive or negative energies in that can linger though. The residual, not energy, but your memory of it. Like I was in, I'm feeling really good now, and then let's say an hour later I've kind of forgotten about all this. I'm driving back home. But if I recall it in my brain, oh yeah, and then it can make you feel good again. Yeah. Okay. So I do agree with that.
Okay. Now, here's one, because there's good and there. Remember we were talking outside before Greg let us in, and I said that in everything, people like to say, well, this is good, this is bad, and I said, no, in everything, you can find good and bad in everything. if you want to look at it that way, okay? Everything can be misused, and everything can be used for the good, okay? I just taught you some of the good. Now, would you agree with me that different music has an effect on you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't enjoy art like most people do.
Oh, you don't like my painting? Did I give it a try?
Like paintings, I get no pleasure out of them.
He don't like my draft painting.
This is on the side of your bag, right?
Yeah.
When I look at that, I look at how much practice, very scientifically, how much practice did it take you to get that good? How did you start? Did you draw it first and then paint it in? You know, I'm looking at the nuts and bolts mechanics of that painting. The actual beauty of it, I get no pleasure out of. And art, literature, poetry,
because
music.
you're very analytical and you're going to the extreme on it, and I know what that's like because I can be very analytical. I'm one of those kind of people that are both right and left brain.
I've heard of that.
And sometimes it kind of conflicts, you know.
You asked music though. There's maybe 12, maybe less than that, maybe a half a dozen artists that, you know, it's individual songs.
Right. Certain music will get you in a go mode, and certain music will make you like want to go to sleep or relax you. Certain music can anger you. All has a different vibration, and the words.
It just brings back memories,
Okay,
right?
but when you get yourself in that tune of mind, okay, that kind of leaves you open. This is why I'm a soul practitioner in many cases. I don't want somebody to put something in my head I don't want there, but I also know how to reject it, and I know you know how to reject it, okay? But when you get in a certain state of mind, in that theta state, you are open to suggestion, okay? Now, I want you to think about churches. What do they use?
Oh, monotonous, mind-numbing, repetitive hymns that get you. Yes, there is something to that.
Okay.
And that is on purpose. They
Right.
have honed and perfected that art form.
They have. And I've been to, you know, a lot of different churches. I've been to the fundamentalist churches. I've been to churches that were more liberal, the churches that you dance in, that had a band playing, where there was like this flow of energy that would go through the church. I've seen people go into seizures. I have fallen down because it comes down and it's just more than the body can handle. Those people that fall, some of them might be fake, but some of them are real, because all that energy comes down in and they feel it coming, instead of from here up, like we were talking about earlier, coming here, and they fall because it's more than the body can handle, okay? And then they call it God.
They call it God, but there's so many other alternative,
Now,
simpler explanations.
You go to even the churches that don't believe in dancing, and they still have the music, and you get somebody in that mindset, and you're throwing words in there. This is a very hypnotic mindset. The people who are open to receive it, and you're throwing words in there, you've got control of their mind, you've got control of what they think, you've got control of what they believe. So when an atheist tries to open their eyes, they're already hypnotized.
And that's when they slip in the nefarious little hypnotic suggestions. Like God wants this out of you, or confess your sins. And
Because that's kind of a high. I would go as far as to say it is a high.
no one's immune to it.
You know?
Because I've been in churches, and when they start singing Hallelujah, oh my gosh, to this day, that gets me. That puts me in a state.
But you question it.
I just know that there's 5 or 6 good, simple, way simpler scientific explanations than God coming down.
Right. But that's, you know, like me, I don't believe in this God, okay? And I don't go for a religion. I don't want anybody telling me what to think, because I've been there, okay?
Yeah, you're a universal consciousness person.
Right.
Like a pantheist.
And I'm very careful about the music I listen to. I, you know, listen to classical music in the morning. I don't like listening to music that has words unless those words I agree with. Because even back when I was listening to disco and rock, and yes, I'm that old, I'm going to be 60 this month.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
April 28th, I will be 60. You know, I didn't realize. I'll listen to some of that. Like my boyfriend still likes to listen to some of that rock and roll. He gets on YouTube or whatever.
But if it's a negative message, that really can affect
and
you.
I used to sing
drug
this
use
all the time and didn't realize
yeah
that what the effect it was. And I think about the actions and reactions I had when I was younger, and the music I was listening to.
Where do you get your tires rotated and air pressure and all that? Do you go to Discount Tire like a lot of us? Okay.
Yeah.
It's always gospel in there. No matter what, it's a nationwide thing. I don't know, whoever owns Discount Tire chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time I go in there and the waiting, I'm like, I have to endure like an hour of Jesus is your guy and you're a broken person and come on with that crap. Yeah. They just assume everyone in the country's, thinks the same way.
Is Christian and all this and that.
But their prices are too good to stay away.
I know. I kind of like to stay in the car if I can. But the music, the rhythm of the music, the vibration of the music, and it puts you in that state of mind. And now you got the words while you're in this state of mind. I mean, to this day, every once in a while, if I'm not thinking, I go, Jesus loves me, this I know. I'm like...
Was that Poltergeist or Children of the Corn where the guy at the preacher at the door, Jesus loves me for the Bible. You remember that scene?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, that creepy old dude, he kind of looked dead already.
Let's talk.
Jesus loves me. Every time I hear that song.
Yeah.
Different.
But this is how they get you. Okay? And that's why, as atheists, when you're trying to talk sense into somebody, okay, you're talking sense into somebody who has been indoctrinated into this. And usually what happens is, you remember when I was telling you how people can when somebody becomes victimized, the person can see certain things, certain needs that they have. A person who maybe feels unloved. Well, people who go to church, they often feel unloved and they feel down and they need to be accepted and they need to be, or sometimes they feel like, I'm so stupid, I don't know how to lead my life. Somebody tell me what to do.
Alcoholics, same way. You have people, like, what'd you say, like emotional childhood trauma? That's spiritual hole that God fills up. I think they have an emptiness.
Right.
Right?
So you go to church twice a month. Twice a month. You're right. Twice a week. Wednesday. You go Wednesday, and you go Sunday, and you go certain holidays, and you have this crammed into you, and you're told to read the Bible, only certain parts of the Bible, because very few. And if they do have a Bible study, they do it in a way that they
can skip over the
the
uncomfortable, like the entire book of Song of Solomon.
Yeah.
It's just straight porn.
Yeah.
That whole book is straight porn.
Yeah.
You never hear, let us now turn to Song of Solomon chapter. No, you never hear that in church. And there she lusted after her lovers. Her breasts were like clusters of grapes.
Yeah. And I mean, like when I was reading through the Bible and I was reading about this wonder, they talk about how great, King David, really? This guy is so great. He sent a guy, to the front of the war to get killed because he impregnated that guy's wife, and we're saying he's great.
I don't think he impregnated her. He just sent him to the front lines because he took a liking to her because he saw her son bathing on the roof.
I thought he impregnated her first. And
she
said,
you know what? You might be right.
I am pregnant, and so he's like, oh man, I got to do something to hide this.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was see, I've talked to Christians about this. He's a perfect example of a flawed, he was human. He was a flawed person. So they've got an excuse for everything. But if he was one of the great ones in the Bible, and he was dirty, he
was
played dirty.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
just like everybody, but why was he such a great character? Doesn't seem like, I don't know. Do you have any more?
I don't have any more toys in here.
Yeah.
I just,
So back to this, vibrations, let me try to recap. You think of vibrations are more persistent. They can stay in you, they can stay in rooms, they can stay in furniture, they can remain in you, they don't dissipate.
Oh, they can dissipate, yeah.
Only if you let them. They have the potential to stay vibrating indefinitely.
Well, they have the potential to stay vibrating in a room indefinitely. In us, we're going out to the
Are they in the walls or in the air?
In the walls, in the air. Have you ever walked into a room and you just felt like somebody had an argument in there? Or you walked into a room and you could tell that something... Like, okay, when I was young, and I was at one time, believe me, I lived in a city called Alliance, Ohio. Very dark city, but you don't know it when you're living in there. And I kept hearing these stories about this place called the Children's Home. I didn't know for sure where it was, but I kept hearing these stories about this place called the Children's Home. Kept hearing these stories about this place called the Children's Home. Okay? And whether or not this is true, I don't know. Okay? But in the stories, it was an orphanage, and the headmaster in that was so hard on the children, really one of those fundamentalist Christian, very hard on the children, and they got him down in the cellar, got him to come down in the cellar, and then killed him, murdered him, okay? This is the stories I heard, okay? I didn't know where this place was, okay? But there was this building that every time I walked by this building, I didn't know why, but it creeped me out every time I walked by that building. And it turned out that that was a children's home. Now, when I was 16 years old, I was engaged to a guy. This is a good one. What broke up our engagement was that he dumped me for my brother's girlfriend who was pregnant by his cousin. But anyway,
Brothers.
don't you kind of want to go, Jerry, Jerry? But anyway, I dodged the bullet and then married my ex-husband. And
This was Ohio, not West Virginia,
Ohio,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, he kept going to this place. He kept telling me to go to the children's home with him. And I didn't put the two and two together because he was talking about a churchy kind of thing. Okay. So we go into this. I'm still not putting the two and two together. Okay. That this was the same children's home. I thought it was something different. And they had this service in this big gymnasium, and they were all in a circle. There's a lot of people there. And my ex-fiance and I were holding hands. Okay. The first weird thing was I walked in there and the guys would hug the guys and shake the girls' hands. And I thought that was peculiar. And then my ex-fiance and I were holding hands. And then after the service, we walked into this one room and we were necking, And the guy come in there, one of the leaders came in there and he just tore into us for holding hands there because there are kids there. And from now on, if we ever come back, one sits on one side, one sits on the other. And that was a bad example for the kids and all this and that and blah, blah, blah. We never went back, but it was creepy. Okay. Then when I became an adult and, we got the internet and I'm looking up information about the children's home, that's when it starts clicking. This is the same children's home. Okay. And then I heard it burned down. Good. But anyway, it was that's why that place felt so creepy to me. And they had a lot of children there. And then my mom was telling me about how some of the people from the children's home were coming to our church and those children just seemed like there was something wrong with them. Real distant and stuff like that. So even though, you could feel, without me knowing that that was the building, I could feel the vibration in that. I could feel the creepiness in that. Okay? You could just feel it. Okay?
Penny, do you think maybe 100% of that creepiness you felt were the people there and not the structure itself?
It was before I even knew it was a children's home where everyone walked inside, just walking by the building. I didn't know that was a children's home until I went inside.
Is there any scientific, I'm thinking of 3 or 4 just off the top of my head. Any possible scientific explanation, non-supernatural?
Well, there may be.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that vibration, I honestly believe because of things of walking in rooms where you felt like something just happened, and then you were told later something just happened. And that's just an example. I didn't know that was a children's home before I ever even went in.
I believe you. I just think there might be
there may be
a better explanation.
But, science hasn't explained everything yet.
No, but back to the vibrations. So I will meet you at a few places that all these different methods, these vibration methods, they induced relaxation in me. They gave me a sense of calm. I can totally see how they could be used for focus and for just thinking positive thoughts. And like that clinging, the clinging, I can still you know, if I can recall it in my brain right now.
Yeah.
And have you heard of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming?
Yeah.
I could see how that would be like a very, very scientific version of that. I know you can get into some woo-woo also, but like I can equate that sound. Like if I'm having a rough day, I don't even need those things clanging. I can just remember the sound of them. And if I keep attaching positive thoughts to that, like that's a pleasing sound to me. Those tuning forks are a pleasing sound to me. Even if I don't have them, I could just recall the sound in my mind, and that might help calm me down.
Yeah, but do you remember to recall the sound in your mind?
I would have to consciously do it.
Right.
I'm sure I could just unconsciously do it. You could get to a point where you're just having a tough time, and then the tuning forks sound just kind of in your mind, and without you even have to pull it up.
But you can also see where the danger is when you're in that mind. If somebody's trying to tell you, you know, that's why you still have to have that critical thinking that you have.
That's what you said. You like self-therapy.
Right.
You don't want there to be a chance with nefarious purposes. Trying to sneak in some hypnotic suggestions, right?
Right.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Now I have learned red flags, to toss out stuff, but not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows how to do that. And even then, if you're in a relaxed enough state, you may not catch that red flag because you're like, oh, this just feels so good. And then somebody's telling you something and you're not catching it. You know, you're in the zone. And I've done that too. Being in the zone, you're in nature, you're in a zone. You're in that, you go to sleep at night and you're in that part where you're just before you fall asleep. Just before you fall asleep. And somebody can whisper to you, you know, make me a cup of coffee in the morning. Now, unless it's something that you're totally against, making a woman a cup of coffee in the morning, if it, it
goes against what you are.
Right, you'll throw it out. But if it don't go against what you are, you could end up making coffee in the morning for someone and you just felt like doing it without knowing that there was a suggestion put in there.
Okay, I think
that's what they say about acceptable suggestions.
I think there's something to that. I was very skeptical of anything meditation.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've made a big 180 on. I was telling Greg before we rolled tape that's one of the big things I've done. I talked about it in my last talk. Like how many things can you count that you did a full 180 on, that you completely changed your mind?
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
You can count those, and that's how open-minded you are. And what one is meditation for me. I used to think it was all woo-woo, and now I think there are some definite positive mental and physical benefits to it.
Well, see, a lot of what happens is people talk, but they don't show, and that's why I wanted to show you. I wanted to give you an example, and then I wanted to also explain to you how that can be used against you. And that's why for the most part, I'm a self-practitioner. You know, I don't want people to unintentionally put something in my mind that I don't want there. You know?
I'm glad you did this.
Thank you.
This was really cool. Any final thoughts? Anything we didn't cover, or? You're about to do some more camping. Penny, her YouTube channel will be in the description section. So you only got maybe 4, 5, 6 videos on there right now?
Well, I added some more videos. There's not really any editing because I'm trying to learn Blender right now. We use Linux.
I like the editing on it.
I know, but the editing system I had before I no longer have. And I tried to do it with my son's computer, but something went wrong with that. And I think his computer was too full or something or other. I'm doing like different stuff, and one of course is camping, and I'm trying to learn Blender, but it's kind of complicated. So I'm doing a lot of part 1, part 2 things because I'm not able to combine 2 videos
Bite-sized
together.
chunks, people like bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, and then also another thing that I'm doing that's a little bit different is one thing that I'm trying to do is show people that my mother has dementia. She's in the moderate stages, so she could still remember me and stuff like that, but there's a lot of things that's difficult for her. And I moved into this home, and if you see the home, you'll wonder why. The home is really in a bad condition. It is extremely neglected, roaches, all that fun stuff, and I'm trying to do videos of showing the work that I'm doing, trying to get everything cleared up. And it comes difficult because I'll get in the kitchen, I'll start working, and then somebody goes in there and messes it up. And I love my mother, and you do things out of love that are uncomfortable sometimes, you know. But one of the things I want to do is fix up her home. Of course, I'm not able to fix up the foundation. She hired someone years ago to fix the foundation. It got worse, you know. I think they did a really bad job, you know. But what I can do, I'm trying to fix up the house. And so I'm doing little bits of videos on that. And you might get disgusted with some of the things that you see, but know that it is because I love my mother.
and like hoarders, people, that's good television. You know, people like to see it's like home flipping improvements. But if you could work in some of your, you know, into the videos.
I'm working in, you know, that.
The videos you already have, it's camping, but you're working in a lot of like lifestyle and mindset kind of
It's got a lot to
information.
do with, because a lot of other holistic programs are
Holistic, that's the word I'm looking for.
A lot of other holistic programs, you know, they talk about maybe like what we were just talking about with the vibration, or they go into the aromatherapy, or they go into a lot of other stuff. Mine's a bit different. It's going into my life, because holistic is body, mind, and spirit. I mean, that is your life. I mean, everything in your life has got to do with body, mind, and spirit.
Body and mind.
Okay, body, mind, and higher self.
And we're off on a tangent. Okay, so Penny's channel is in the description section, and thanks so much for watching.
Yeah. Have a lovely day. Wish you had the video going when we were throwing disc earlier.
Not that
He's
shit.
17. He's a 17-year-old. I seen him crawl over a fence.
Yeah, you didn't see how out of breath I was and how I got my balls squished though.
Oh, okay.
So there's a 54-year-old in there also.